Washington Immigrant Solidarity Network is a grassroots coalition of over 400 organizations statewide, licensed, educates, and mobilizes communities to uphold and defend the rights of immigrants and refugees. When the pandemic started in March of 2020, undocumented people were one of the first ones to be severely impacted, were deemed essential workers, which put them at high risk of the virus. In April, we organized a diverse coalition of 460 organizations and groups who endorsed and asked Governor Inslee for $100 million. Governor Inslee committed $40 million for a relief fund for undocumented Washingtonians. The success of this relief fund was because we had one goal of bringing economic justice to a community that was constantly and systemically left out of safety net programs. The Washington Immigrant Relief Fund was designed and implemented by community organizations, and there were systemic challenges that prevented community organizations from administering the fund, and that is where the Legal Foundation of Washington stepped in to support. So together, as the Washington Immigrant Relief Fund, the Legal Foundation of Washington, and with 11 other partner organizations, we successfully distributed $125 million in economic aid to undocumented Washingtonians. It was a light of hope. With the leadership of Columbia Legal Services, we organized in the 2021 legislative session to remove the immigration restriction in the Oakland statute so that undocumented people can receive civil legal aid representation like every other Washington resident. Thank you to the Legal Foundation of Washington, Northwest Immigrant Rights Project, Fair Work Center, Columbia Legal Services. Without a lot of your help, our community wouldn't have had the tools that they need to survive this pandemic.
At NIRP, even though the majority of the work we do is direct representation, we have an impact litigation unit. Over the last 10 years, Northwest Immigrant Rights Project has taken on a series of class actions challenging different types of detention in the immigration proceedings. Our Padilla case, which is back at the Ninth Circuit in mediation, covers a class of 40,000 individuals, providing them the right to immediate bond hearings. I just returned from presenting oral arguments before the Supreme Court. Aleman Gonzalez has generated more than 1,000 bond hearings for individuals. We filed it back in 2016. That case started on behalf of individuals here in Washington State who are locked up for months and sometimes years. That's what this case is all about. It's about challenging arbitrary and unlawful imprisonment. The fact that these individuals are being locked up, even though every single one of them has already been screened by an official from the Department of Homeland Security, and every single one of them has been found to have a bona fide claim, meaning they've endured persecution or torture, so they still have to endure 6 months of detention. But if the government hasn't resolved their case by 6 months, then at last they at least get a bond hearing, a chance to show that they should be released. It's invigorating having the opportunity to go there and try to assert the rights of our clients before the highest court and saying, this is what our legal tradition demands, is the right to a fair hearing before an independent decision maker in order to justify their detention. And without legal representation, there's just really no meaningful opportunity for justice in this system. The truth is, there's a lot of individuals who are locked up, so we're going to keep pushing.
We did a lot of great things for residents of this state to ensure access to justice. I'm really proud that Washington State was the first state in the nation not only to pass right to counsel for low-income tenants in eviction proceedings, but to fully fund it. In addition, we removed the discriminatory restrictions that previously prohibited undocumented residents of our state to have access to civil legal aid. We also extended right to counsel in youth dependency hearings, so young people have their own representatives when they're going to court. And after a long time effort, we banned private prisons in Washington State. There is more work to do. Personally, I am working to ensure that we continue to fully fund right to counsel in eviction proceedings. I worked very closely with member organizations of the Equal Justice Coalition, the Housing Justice Project, Northwest Justice Project, Columbia Legal Services, the Northwest Immigrant Rights project. The Washington Immigrant Solidarity Network, it's been great to work with such wonderful partners.